All right, let's say we attempt to make some progress on this Cletrac, and we're gonna try that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and I got me here a whole box full of stuff that we can hopefully use to make this more better. There is something we can put on immediately though, just to say that we did, if I can somehow get everything. Yeah. One of the things I got was a radiator cap. And I'm telling you, friends, it's no wonder that that was missing, because look how it's made. I can almost guarantee you that after a little while of being in the corrosive antifreeze, that probably, you know, was the end of that. Also, I'm realizing that I started it too soon, I guess, and I'm not catching the stops with my, I don't know. There we go. How about that? We need to clean that out still, but at least we are attempting to make it better-ish. Most of our work though, I think today is going to be over here. We're going to work on the head, and I think we're going to set it inside this bucket again, because this is a nice adjustable work table and we can make it anything we want it to be. All right, so here we have the head, which has now flash rested on me again. That's life. Well, we'll clean that up again. We're mainly worried about our intake valve situation. They are not doing the thing, friends. I filled every port with stuff and tried it. The exhaust valves hold great. The intake valves do not hold at all, especially these back two. So I managed to find, looky here, some of these, which are supposed to be the right thing. So we're going to pull them out, and then we're going to attempt to lap them to these seats, and then we're going to hope that our life is happy. So I got this tool, which I've had for years. I don't know that this is going to really do it for me, but I got to remember how it works too. Let's see here. I think you grip it as low as you can, and then you gotta, this isn't gonna work very good, I can see that now. It's rusty. It got some mouse piss on it, you know. You know how that goes. Uh-oh. Well, that would work if it was going to, but okay. It's really not going to work very good with you. That's the problem. I can't hardly do all the things necessary. And truth be told, I could get this out with a socket. That usually works pretty good. There we go. We're getting it. The real important thing is I don't want to lose pieces, because we don't have that luxury. Come on, baby doll. Is there something? Yeah, this is awkward to do with the camera. Well, we need to get some more tools, because I don't have enough stuff here to make this happen easily. But basically all we got to do is push this down, get those keepers out, and then we can take it out. Let's see if I can make this happen. This is not the best tool, I'll be honest with you. I don't remember where we got this. but Grandpa bought it and we used it. Then we broke it, then we fixed it, and I'm guessing we didn't get it just A1 back in shape. Also, it's very difficult to do this. Okay. We're never going to get it this way. I need to just use the socket trick to get them loose. This tool is garbage. Okay, I'm tired of struggle bussing with that thing, so we're doing the socket trick, which I guess you'll see in a minute. But yeah, let's get these pulled out of here. This is the worst one, I would venture to guess. So you can see how that's been hammered down. I guess they did kind of get it lapped, but they didn't get it, like this extra piece that's been hammered out was hitting the side of the deal, and that was the biggest issue that I saw with it that made me want to go the other way. I'm sure hoping that this is all going to clean up good. We're going to get we'll get a wire wheel and give that a shot before we do the, probably shouldn't use a metal screwdriver to do what I'm doing right now, but I'm hoping we can use these seats one more time. That there doesn't look promising, but it's possible. It's better than, whatever we do is going to be better than what's here. So you got to look at it that way. Now we're going to take this one out. Not yet. There's one. No, I thought I had one. Shoot. There we go. You just tap it with a socket a few times and the little doogies fall out, and there you go. These going forward were not nearly as bad, but if we're going to replace some, we're going to replace them all. So that's where that's how I arrived at this decision, you see. This was the one that was stuck, so it may not be very good either. Let's see, this one, they changed directions on after 3 of them. I got one. There we go. Let's see if we can get that out of there. They're not terrible, but they're getting pretty thin. I don't think people understand that valves, the sealing surface is not the very edge. The sealing surface is somewhere in the middle, and you want a little bit of protuberance, you know? So don't look at it and think, oh, well, you know, there was room to pull down in there. No, that's not really how it works. So we're not even close yet. We've just started. That's one of the better ones. That's been doing a good job. One more to get out of there. There we go. Boy, that one looks like they put in a brand new one, doesn't it? It might be kind of wore. It's kind of, I think it's kind of towards the edge. But whatever, these are what's going to go in there. Well, like I said, we need to clean that up, but will they fit? Oh yeah, they're going to be just dandy. All right, they fit in there just right. Okay, let me get some stuff and clean this up a little bit so that we can continue our next part of this operation, which I do not enjoy. I haven't done it very much in my life. I couldn't even find my tool. I had to buy another tool. It's just a suction cup on a stick. But we're gonna try to lap these valves, but I want to clean them up first, so that's what we'll do. All right, now we have to, I'm worried about that. I don't know how good that's gonna seal, but we got to overlook some of this if we just want to hear it run. You know, if we get this running reasonably decently, we can always take this back down, and I'll let my guy who does the heads do whatever he can do to this, because yeah, this is not great, but we're in the middle of a revival here, so sure. I don't know how well this is going to come across, but basically what we're going to do is take this paste and try to get it on. Right now I'm not doing a very good job of it, but distribute it evenly around this valve. Try to get it in there. You can be mad at me and tell me I'm doing it wrong, that's fine. I wish you were here doing this instead of me. Whoever you are. Mr. Comment Police. Alright, I'm going to put that in there. Really be better if you were quite. Maybe if I do that, you can still. Gotta kind of listen for it. I should have known. I should have known you were gonna tip over. As we're struggle bussing along, let's see if we got it. Let's clean off with water. See, I have water. We want water, because this valve grinding stuff is water based. How are we doing here? Boys, that ain't very good, is it? And it may well be that we can't get it to seal. I didn't realize how chewed up that seat was right in there. Oh, boys. I mean, it fits in there better, but I know it's going to leak some. That's just the nature of this beast. We're going to have to just... We're going to have to just do the best we can. Like, there's a place I'm pretty confident that that's going to leak. Not much a guy can do, though, about it. All he can do is the best he can. And then try to keep him. Boy, that valve guide's cracked, I'm pretty sure. So this definitely needs a trip to the head shop, you know. Definitely does. This one won't suction cup, so that's a problem. How's that look? Let's give it another one or so. Sticks for a minute and then it goes away. Come on, baby. Stick. Stick. I like how that one fits in there better, so if nothing else, maybe we've accomplished that much. I don't like this whole process though. Come on, suction cup to that. So close. That one cleaned up much more decently than everything else. And the nice thing about it is they're kind of, it's in the center of the valve, or in the center of the line is in the center. I see we have a mixture of old valves and new valves, like old stock. It's also causing me great crap with this suction cup. Come on, suction cup. Come on. Come on. That one sounded the best out of all of them. As far as doing what I think it should have done. I think he sold me some used valves. I think this one's used because it looks like it's got pitting in it, friends. Now, is that appropriate when a guy asks for new valves to get some that are used and then get charged probably for new ones? I have to look. At my receipt. Maybe he didn't have enough and he sent what he thought was good used. But I wouldn't consider that good used because it's got a line in it. But okay, that's fine. I'm wondering if, well, no. It's okay, friends. It's okay. We won't be upset. That one also sounded very lovely. I liked what I heard there. That's another one that ain't perfect. I guess if you don't understand, or I haven't made that clear, you want to make sure when you put this together in a minute that you use the valve in the hole. Like I've been using a different valve every time, and that one's got to go in that hole because that's the one that we seated to that hole. But the seats wore a little bit more, I think, because it's pulling it in there further. That's fine. That's fine. All right, I think we're ready to try to assemble these and see if they are any better than what we had. We might as well just start with the one we just did. This is going to be a trick because we got to use that crappy tool that we got. We may not be able to. We may have to go buy a better one because I don't know. It's hardly worth it. It's hardly worth the struggle with. The problem is, well, for one, here we don't have enough room between us all, but come on. The problem is the tool doesn't pull evenly, and it's partially because it's a piece of crap, and it's also because, see, like, look, it's coming apart. Oh my God.
One eternity later.
Oh, there, I lost it. Only got half of it.
2 hours later.
All right, friends. I'm sure at one time this was the pride of Shanghai. They were probably super duper proud of it. You know, oh, valve spring compressor, love us long time. But I'm over it. This thing was a piece of junk when it was new, and it's still a piece of junk now. It says as everything blows away, you know, just because. These were super expensive too. They were like $14 a gasket or something. All right, anyway, my point is, I'm done. I'm done fighting. I could stick it out with this and keep going, or I could drive to town and buy a better one and come back and put them all together and still be less time than if I stuck it out with this one. So that's what I'm gonna do. It shows that the old Hobo Freight's got some on hand, and I'll probably buy one of each kind and see what I like best. I just do not do this enough to justify having bought one before, you know. I had that one from when I was a kid. Grandpa bought that so I could do something with the 77 head, but I found it was just better to take the thing to the guy who did only this. Like, there's a guy who has a machine shop who only does heads, and he does excellent work, and he's not that expensive. So I just have always went that route. So that's why I don't have a better one. But anyway, I'm gonna run to town and I'll bring you back when I get ready, but then we can start putting this back together. All right, we're back from town and we got this number. This is very much like the one we used at the shop, except that one was a snap-on and this one's a ching chong, but I'd say it'll do better than this, which I don't know. It needs its birthday taken away. That thing's a piece of garbage. To do this one though, I got to flip it up on its side, so. The nice thing about this kind is once you get it set, you can do them all without having to adjust the tool every time. It's just a matter of doing the thing. Let's see how I got that upside down. That's why. Yeah, so much easier. Of course, if you don't do it right, then that's also a problem. Oh well, we'll try again. Come on, baby doll. I should probably switch to one of the other. I don't know if the other one would be better. And by this other one, I'm talking about the adapter thing here that pushes down. What is going on here? Part of my problem might also be let's loosen it up a little again. Nope, not enough. Come on. The phone is going off. We're having all kinds of struggle buses. There we go. This is not at all the best time of day to do this because the sun is right in your teeth. I realize that, friends. I realize it. It is what it is. We'll get this done and then realize it was all for naught, you know. It won't be any better than it was. Wouldn't that be sad? Yes, self, it would be sad. Since no one else will answer me, I'll just say it myself. It'll be sad. Come on, you little keepers. Good. That's good. I'm trying to give you the full, like, out in the woods dozer repair experience. So that's what you're getting. All right, friends, we got that much better than if I would have kept fighting with that other one. I hope that one's in there right. All right, now we're going to do a test. A test that we're not going to enjoy. We're going to see how bad it leaks. It'd be wonderful if it didn't leak at all, but I very much doubt that that's going to be the case. Oh, friends, it's really doing good. The back two are are leaking. I guess they're all kind of leaking a little, but a lot less than they were. So, friends, I can live with that. Especially since you think we're doing the opposite of what it would be doing in real life. Compression will be pushing up against there when we want it closed, so that will also help. You know, putting fluid in it and watching it not leak is one thing, but it's a lot better than it was. It was really bad the other day. It was like a garden hose running out of there. So I'm satisfied here. Oh yeah. Oh my. Okay. Well, I have cleaned out about every surface of this thing imaginable the other day and got it pretty good. It needs remember, this is a proof of concept running. This isn't a perhaps permanent running, because this head really could use some new valve seats and whatnot, but I think we got it good enough where it's actually going to have a chance of running, and that's what I was after with this. We'll get it cleaned up, and we're going to put that other I need to see if I got some copper coat. I think that would probably be a wise thing. But we need to clean up the top of the head, or the top of the block rather, and then we can put this head on. I mean, I got nothing against that. I was going to try to spin it over, but the starter's not playing nice, so that's a whole nother separate can of worms we can open up. But we did it some good today. Even if it's not 100% perfect, we did it a lot of good, because some of these valves, they just were not the best. I can't find that one that was really bad. Where are you now? It's not that one. It's gonna be the last one. This is the worst one. You know, it was hammered in there very badly. It's got grooves cut in it even. You can feel. So it wasn't doing the thing. The one that's in there is doing much more of the thing than what that one was. So that's good. All right, friends. I got this cleaned up. I think we got a little of the limpatador on there. It's drying, but I think we're ready to put the head back on, friends, and make that happen. I got as good as I can get. I got the head gasket cleaned up. I got that cleaned up. I got some copper coat we can spray on. There is one thing I want to check on the head. That truck just ran off the road out there. Fine. I don't know what they're doing, but probably should watch. I don't really know what's happening. Sure. Okay. Well, one thing I'm curious about on this is it says that it gets its oiling from one of the passages that the rocker arms go through. But I'm not sure where that is, because I didn't see any evidence of that. And so I'm curious to know where that passage is in this head. We should probably limpatador this too before we put it on. But I'm just curious. It says it lines up with a passage in the block, and then it gets its oil. I wonder if it's this. And I wonder where... Yes, okay, there are the two holes where it would get its stuff. So we want to spray through those two holes and make sure they're open, so that we really are getting our oil to our hollow. The rocker shaft tubes are hollow. and it gets its oil that way. But I want to make sure of that before it's all said and done. We need to take along with us the rocker or the valve cover and all that stuff, because we might need those bolts. But I want this all bolted down. I mean, it's time. I'll give it another cleaning, some brake cleaning, then we'll hang it from the chain and use the tractor to help us get it where it needs to go. But I think that this is ready to go on. Like I said, we'll double check our passages and then we should be good to go. Oh, friends, this week has really kicked the Knudsen. I am wore out. Let's get our good old Limpatador. Let's see if this really is the passage. Yep, it is. It came out good. It actually came out another place I didn't anticipate. Let's see here. This one. That's clear. I thought it came out of another. Maybe I'm crazy on that. Okay. Well, that's good to know. It comes through. So that would be in the middle on this side. So it would probably be that. I'd say we're good. I'd say we're good. Should we give this another wire wheeling to make sure that it's clear? I know you're going to be surprised that I'm not prepared. I know that's a shocker to you, but I got to get that socket set, the impact socket set, so I got all the different sizes, because we're going to need different sizes for stuff. But I'm hoping to hang that by a stud again to lift it up and over, so all I got to do is lower it down, get it started, and then just let her eat. You know, I got to get the head gaskets laying on the track over there, so it's clean and ready to go. But yeah, it's just, no matter how much stuff you think you've got, you still don't have everything, you know. It's kind of a sad situation, really. I did think of something else I probably should do before we get started. I don't know. I'm probably overthinking it, because average Joe, the guy in the woods who would be doing this, would not care like I care. He would just let it eat. I'm probably being too particular, is what I'm saying. There. We don't want that. We want to figure out how much chain slack we want. Alright. The last thing that I'm thinking I should do is I'm going to get a 5-gallon bucket and I'm going to put all of these bolts and washers in. Pay no attention to the starter of sadness. We're not there yet. But like all of these, if I put them in a bucket of gas and swish them around, I could probably have that all cleaned up and ready to go, because I'm thinking that's probably not ideal covered with schmutz. So let me work on that first, and then we should be ready, friends. But I promise before night that head is going to be on there. And here's a fun fact for you. I looked in the book. There is no torque spec on this head. It says to use an 18-inch bar and tighten it, and then when it's warm, tighten it again. And that's it. So, and there's no pattern. It says start in the center and just work. It kind of describes like the normal thing. Just work in a spiral out and work your way out. And it also says something that proves that I am a genius. No, it proves everything I've been doing all these years is right. It says any gaskets you reuse, you should use gasket sealer, preferably number 2 Permatex. And so that's pretty cool. I've never seen a book that actually endorsed that. So that's just something I've found to be true over time. So yeah. Anyway, let me get that stuff and we'll get this cleaned up the rest of the way. And then we should be ready to pop that on there. This is not going to be graceful, but sure. Boy, it'd be nice to have a second person, you know? Sure would. There we go. Head down. I'm a little worried about my bolt here. I think it'll be fine. Oh yeah. It's fine. Now we begin the long process of putting bolts back, of which there are many. There are many. I should probably have a rag ready. I don't know why some of them came out that way. I should also remember that there's, oh yeah, we have homework to do, don't we? We can tighten this on, but we can't put the rockers on yet because there is all that other stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Probably not. Probably not, but you know what I mean. We have to put that water neck on before we do anything because I can't physically get that in there. Also, somehow or another, oh no, that's crap. I didn't want to drop that. There it is. I don't know. We need to get all the things. That's all the things. There's just so many. I forgot a washer under that one I put in a minute ago. Gotta put one in there. I don't know. I'm getting frustrated. Somebody said, why don't you put these loader arms up? Well, there's several reasons for that. Number A, it does not appear to have a float position. So that was part of it. And number B, I got to thinking about it, and if I forced them up somehow, and I wasn't paying attention and they started to come back down on me, they could seriously get me crushed in between something, because I wouldn't be able to overcome it. So I don't know. It just seemed like maybe it would be a better idea if Ross didn't do that. So many though, look at them, so many. So many. See, I'm trying to be kind of methodical here about where to put the ones with the giant washers. Obviously, some of this stuff is not in the right place of where it was. The last guy, as in the last guy who was in here, not the last owner. The last guy who had the head off, he just put stuff wherever he thought he wanted to. And that doesn't always work. Because, for one, I don't like to put the bolts that have been painted, I don't like to put them under the valve cover where the paint flakes get in the oil. But number two, it's obvious that he must have lost a few of these washers hither and yon, and so the solution that was come up with was just throw on whatever. Well, that's all well and good, except for the fact that some of them are a lot bigger outer diameter and they will not fit in between things, you know. We'll put that one there, we'll put this one here. It's not painted. I think also I noticed another problem. I think this head is cracked right there, now that I look at it all cleaned up. So we will be in here again, friends, fear not. We're going to do like I said, a concept test running and see how bad it is, and then we'll go back and, you know, do something different later, because we don't know anything about this. It may be totally sacked out garbage. It may not run a lick. It might smoke terrible. It might have a knock to it. It might have zero transmission. It might be garbage. So there is there's a lot more here than what meets the eye, I should say to you, friends. There's one that's not as thick, and I don't remember. Did Ross look for some reason, and are there some that are different heights for some particular reason? I don't remember that. That has to go in there. That one will put there. I'm second guessing because of the washers, friends. And I also, like I said, I don't know. I wonder if in a minute I'm going to find out that there were shorter ones that have to be in a certain spot for some certain reason. And I don't know the answer to that question. Also, I'm wedged in here so tight I can't hardly feel my legs. But that's okay. It's overrated. That's an outside one. That's an outside one. That's an outside one. Yeah, I'm not getting that. I'm sure that's going to become very obvious later why that one is shorter and where it needs to go and where Ross didn't put it correctly. I wonder if it needs to go in the back. I don't think so, but sure makes me feel better, doesn't it? Somehow I think we're short a few. I don't know what's going on. Have to look in the box and see. I guess it's possible that some of these didn't really have one and I wasn't paying close enough attention. But I need 3 more washers, it looks like, for the inside and a couple for the outside, maybe. Sure. I don't think I got them. I think I need to go find some now. I need 2 washers, and then we can put this down for keeps. So let me go see if I got some machinery bushings or something. All right, friends. We're coming along here. I don't even know what I got anymore. But I think we're good to go. I brought one more than I needed. And if I hadn't done that, I would have dropped one, friends. So, that's why. But I think everything here is gonna be just fine. This one, oh yeah, that fits in there. Okay, let's call that good. Let's get some type of try to get some type of socket that fits these. I don't remember what size it is. It's probably 7/8 because I can't find that one. That's about right, isn't it? Amazing. All the sockets are there except the 7/8. Where did it go? I don't know. Oh, friends, I'm gonna be a bad boy. Chrome socket on an impact? Surely not. This is an amp by 18-inch bar, right? Or were we? These ones, some of these we got to take loose again because there's bracketry that goes on there. Uh-oh, I didn't do it right, did I? Whoops. It's fine. That was when I should have done that one. That's upside down. I think. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Now we'll take the 18-inch bar and pull. Doesn't matter. Not really. Okay, let's go here. This is kind of hard on me to be doing it on the same shoulder all the time. Okay. Okay, friends. I think I got it. I'm going to fill that tomorrow because that's a heck of a pull I just put on those. But I think it's going to be good to go. So we'll probably, I would say let's just call this video here. You've got enough to watch. I've got enough to edit. It's amazing how I keep finding more stuff all the time. After I think I got it all, I'll stick the little vacuum in there and suck all that out better. But It's come along, friends. We just have to build back better, except actually do it. We gotta make us a gasket or two for this. Water neck of sadness. We'll do that later. I'm over it. So we'll make some gaskets for that, because that's got to be the next thing that goes on, so we can get the bolts, tighten the bolts, you know what I mean? And once that's done, then we can put the rockers on, and then we can do the best, most funnest part that I just dearly love with all my heart, which is, you know, setting valves on an engine that you can't really turn easily. There's no way to grab it and easily turn it. I can bar the flywheel with the pry bar. Probably what's going to happen. But yeah, that's where we are. But we got, I think, the most difficult hurdle behind us. We got it unstuck. We got valves put in that might actually seal for more than 35 seconds. And we're on the downhill slide on that. We just need to put back together and clean up everything along the way. That's what's going to take a long time, friends, is everything is just absolutely filthy. And we have to clean it along life's way. We can't just slap it on and not do anything. Those push rods have rust on them, a few of them. That's got to be cleaned off. It just has to be, that has to be done. So we can work on that in the next one. We'll see how we feel after doing all that. We'll have to make a valve cover gasket or reuse the old one. We'll probably reuse the old one for now, because he said they don't make them. So anyway, we'll have to do that. Then we'll have to tackle fuel system, starter. We have to tackle, I want to figure out what kind of oil filters are in this, because that should be cleaned and oil changed before we do anything, because, friends, it's probably full of all kinds of nasties by now after I've been messing around with it. I'm not sure. We need to read up on the injection pump and how to service it, because I'd say it takes oil in it too. I've got a filter to replace this. If my fittings, I may have to get different fittings. I got a filter like off of a diesel Oliver like this that screws in with fittings. So we'll see how that goes. That may or may not be the thing to do, but I'm going to try it, because it's bound to be better than whatever this is, which has never been changed. So that's my thinking there. But what a day, friends. It's been a journey. It has been a struggle bus, friends. But I think we're going to wash some of that trash out. Maybe we'll just do both sides here. Blow it both ways so that any imperfections we might have left on there kind of get out of the way. I don't know. That may not be the thing to do, but I don't care at this point. But it's just slow going. We got to unconfunculate all the stuff that somebody else has done in its previous life. And then I feel like it might actually have a chance of running, you see. Because, like, I don't like that rubber fuel line all the way around up to this other filter they put on, which is not a factory thing. I like the idea of that filter, but we're going to make a different line. And we're going to make one that goes out that way instead of immediately making a bend backwards. I don't like that. The manifold is over getting welded. He said he thought he could do something about that for us. So that's underway. And then, yeah, this part of it doesn't really, I'm not too worried about this. The biggest struggle bus, I'm so tired I keep yawning. The biggest struggle bus is going to be this starter. I just don't know what to do with it. I gotta take it inside, I guess, and clean it up good, and then sit there and really study on it and figure out what I'm gonna do. Because I think what it is, after reading up on it, see, it kind of confuses you because of the two brush setup here, and I'm also not sure why they did what they did. These should be the two hot brushes, but then it looks like they had the hot from the starter post connected to the ground brush, and that doesn't work. That is what probably melted it down. And when I look at this, the way this is made, I feel like this must be like a shunt coil here, and then these other two are what we need, but then the fourth one, they just have the wires clipped off and have nothing going. So I don't know if there's such a thing as a double shunt thing, or what was going on here. I don't get it, friends. It makes no sense to me, but I know that it's not right to have, it can't be right to have the hot hooked to the ground brush. This brush here is the brush that is made to the frame, and the frame is grounded. And so I just can't wrap my brain around that exactly, that's right. I just don't think it is. I think that was our problem, but I can't get any direct answers from anybody that understand my plight here exactly. So we got to figure that out, because that's not right. And obviously because of wherever it is. There it is. That's what happens when you hook hot to ground. So somebody tried rebuilding this starter, but then they made a bad mistake and pretty well almost ruined it. So, and the rest of it might be junk, and I might have to, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we'll figure it out. It sure would be nice to just find another one, and then I could at least know how it was supposed to go, and then I could put one on the shelf if I had to. It'd be nice if I could find another thing to replace this with, like a high torque starter, but I don't know. I just don't know. This is a nice heavy duty starter, but it's very badly injured right now from somebody else's job they did to it, and I don't know if I'll be smart enough to sort that out or not. But she's coming along. It's better than it was a week ago. I mean, it's not stuck. It's looking like it's going to see the light of day again, friends. So that's positive. And I guess until next time, we're going to leave this one here. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.